The Sunday school lesson for October the 15th, 2023 is a backsliding people. Judges chapter 2, verses 16 through 23. To the viewers and subscribers, the agenda is the standardized one. I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. The backstory takes us to Judges chapter 2, verses 8 through 15. Death of Joshua. Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 110, and they buried him in the land of his inheritance, at Timnath Heres, in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gash. Another generation. After that whole generation had been gathered to their ancestors, another generation grew up who knew neither the Lord nor what he had done for Israel. Then the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord and served the Baals. They forsook the Lord, the God of their ancestors, who had brought them out of Egypt. They followed and worshiped various gods of the peoples around them. They aroused the Lord's anger because they forsook him and served Baal and Ashtoreths. The Lord's anger. In his anger against Israel, the Lord gave them into the hands of raiders who plundered them. He sold them into the hands of their enemies all around, whom they were no longer able to resist. Whenever Israel went out to fight, the hand of the Lord was against them to defeat them, just as he had sworn to them. They were in great distress. Verse 16. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. Verse 17. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. Verse 18. And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge, and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For it repented the Lord because of their groanings, by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. Verse 19. And it came to pass, when the judge was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, in following other gods to serve them, and to bow down unto them. They ceased not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way. Verse 20. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he said, Because that this people hath transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice. Verse 21. I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died. Verse 22. That through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it, or not. This is just a gentle reminder to the subscribers and viewers. Please share this video with others, your Facebook friends, your Instagram friends, your Sunday school class, your Bible study class, and others. And once again, I want to say thank you so much for stopping and clicking on this channel. And if you feel that this video is of any benefit to you or can be of any benefit to others, please share it. Thank you so much in advance for all that you do. And thank you to those who have already begun to share my video with others. Thank you. Verse 23. Therefore, the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. A brief summary. In former times, God had given victory to the people of Israel, but now he gave them defeat. God's purpose, of course, was not to destroy his people, but to save them. In earlier times, they had seen that God helped them when they worshiped him and obeyed his law. Now they were seeing that it was disastrous to forsake him and worship idols. When they learned their lesson and again began to worship and obey Jehovah, he was ready to help them again. At the appropriate time, God gave them such a leader. Verses 16 through 19 summarize what happened over and over through those centuries. When God's people were at peace and prosperous, they soon began to forget their duty to him. They fell into the sensual and sinful ways of the heathen. Then God allowed bandits and enemies to take away their prosperity. In poverty and distress, the people would realize that they needed God. When they gave up their sins and pleaded with him for help, he responded by giving them a judge who led them in ending their oppression and distress. But when the judge died, the backsliding began again. The chapter concludes with notice of God's judgment on Israel. They had violated the covenant. 7 times in the previous verses, it is said that the Israelites did not drive out those, some or all of a particular tribe. They could have if they had been obedient, but they were not. So the Lord withdrew his help, and from then on, the Israelites could not drive them out. Judges chapter 3, verses 1 through 6 records the sad result. Thank you so much for watching this video presentation. If it has been of any benefit to you, please share it with others, such as your Facebook friends, your Sunday school class, or your Bible study class. And then, of course, share it with your friends. Thank you so much for everything that you have done thus far to make this channel what it is and what it can eventually become. Thank you for all that you do, and may God bless. Stay safe.